Welcome to MirComputers Hardware. In this video I'm going to tell you my first impressions after using this Insta360 action camera. Online you probably can find multiple different in-depth reviews comparing performance of Insta360 with many other action cameras such as GoPro 10, GoPro 9, GoPro 8 and other options. But all of these big YouTubers, they have multiple different cameras. They know what to test, they know what to expect, and they also have options to use one camera for one thing, another camera for another thing. For me though, this is my first ever action camera. I don't have any other cameras to compare and I don't know what to expect from this camera. That's why I believe that the first impression video is very important for people like me to understand what to expect once you buy such a camera. After a while, the first impressions are fading out, you're getting used to some unknown things, and you're starting to use your camera differently just to adjust to how the camera works. Thus, the first impression review is not something you can record after a few months of usage, but I have been using this camera for just a few weeks. First of all, let's start with some positives. I really like my Insta360 camera and the 360 lens is just awesome. With this lens, you no longer have to worry about the direction of your camera, you don't need to worry about the angle, and you never miss something important because you've been looking somewhere else or because your camera happened to turn this way, or some other ways. You are recording everything around you and your entire journey is available on your SD card. Once you're home, you can launch Insta360 software and just navigate through your journey, look at one direction and other direction and pick what you want to see in your video. This is just awesome experience and I really love it. With this, many of you may think, why would you even want something else? 360 lens is just what you want to have all the time. Unfortunately, it's not quite so. First of all, the 360 video is recorded in a proprietary Insta360 format. You cannot upload this video to YouTube, you cannot use your standard video players to watch this video. You have to open it in Insta360 software and then manually pick direction where you want to point during the entire length of the video using the keyframes, and then export it into a standard MP4 or some other video. So these are some extra manual steps. And also, this 360 camera is recording video in 5.7K, while the 4K length, which is the second camera which is available for 360, is recording video in 4K only one direction. So with the 360 lens, you're having 5.7K around you, and with 4K lens you're getting 4K just one forward direction. As you can see, the quality is rather different between these two cameras if you're looking at only one direction. Speaking of the 4K lens, I was actually very impressed with the quality. I do not have any GoPros to compare the quality, and if you're interested in that, go online, there are multiple different reviews comparing it side by side with GoPros. But for me personally, this tiny 4K lens is able to record basically everything I want to see. Every detail is visible and I'm very happy with the quality. I'm also very happy with image stabilization. Using either of these lenses, either 4K or the 360 5.7K, both of them are performing awesome job stabilizing my footage. Even if I attach my 360 camera onto the motorcycle and go on bumpy roads, all of that is smoothened out and I'm having really nice and smooth footage. I have also tried to just hold camera on a selfie stick and walk around or run around, and this is also stabilized out. One more thing I'm very happy about Insta360 is the battery size. As you can see, this battery is much larger than GoPro's battery and it actually serves as a base module for the camera itself. Thus, it gives me battery life somewhere between 50 to 90 minutes, depends on what recording mode I use. For me personally, this is more than enough and I'm very happy that the camera can work for this long. After checking GoPro reviews and seeing that the camera may die in 30 or even 25 minutes under certain conditions, I was very unimpressed. With Insta360, I'm getting battery life that I'm satisfied with. All in all, I would say that Insta360 One RS Twin Edition is perfect do-it-all action camera. It can do 360 videos, it can do 4K videos, it can do image stabilization, you have decent battery life, you can make it waterproof, you can attach microphone. Still, Insta360 is not a perfect camera, it has some downsides. And now I'm going to go through some things which I personally find to be the most annoying. Let's start with the modular concept. Even though this is probably the biggest plus of Insta360, where you have the camera and you have the modular base, then you have camera core module, and then you have the lens module. So you can swap the lens and you have 4K and 360 camera in one unit. It all sounds cool as a concept and it helps you to save some money compared to buying two different GoPros for standard 4K and 360 videos. But in reality, I have to say that it is rather annoying to swap the lens module, because to do that you have to first detach the microphone adapter, then you need to open the case, take the camera out of the case, then you need to disconnect the battery, then you need to disconnect two modules, core module and lens module, then attach another lens module, put it back to on top of the battery, back into the housing case, and only then attach the microphone adapter. It's just way too many operations and it is a bit too annoying, especially when I have to do it through a motorcycle trip and the weather is not perfect, if there is some small rain, so I have to find some sort of a cover where I can disassemble my camera safely and assemble it back. In the future, if I still have desire and I have some extra money, I will probably buy one extra core module and one extra housing. In that case, I will get two separate cameras, so one will be recording 360 footage, another one will record the standard 4K footage. The next thing I'm slightly disappointed with is the quality of 360 videos. Even though the quality of Insta360 lens is on par with the GoPro 360 camera and much better than many other 360 cameras, I'm still a little bit disappointed. For example, the standard lens is recording 4K with one direction, and the 360 lens is recording 5.7K in all directions. So if you pick one single direction, it will be somewhere around 1080p, and as expected, 1080p quality is noticeably worse than the standard 4K lens. Moving back to the modular design, which is both the biggest plus and the biggest minus, I can also complain about the battery swap. Even though the battery life is rather decent, sometimes, somewhen, you still need to swap the battery. And to do that, you need to perform all these annoying operations. First, disconnect the microphone adapter, then take out the camera from the housing, replace the battery, put the camera back into the housing, and connect the microphone adapter again. This is rather annoying and very inconvenient if you have to do it quickly during a motorcycle trip. The next negative thing I would like to mention is the quality of some accessories. Even though the camera itself is made very well and I don't have any complaints about the quality, everything is clicking in very well and I feel like this is a really premium or at least well-made product. Some of the pieces are not the best. Let's start with the motorcycle mount and this selfie stick. As you can see, the selfie stick can expand and to be rather long, but to mount it onto your motorcycle, you are supposed to use just one tiny screw. So here is the motorcycle mounting and it has just a tiny little screw which is screwing inside the selfie stick and it's supposed to hold up like that. But I do not dare to try it, because this screw is so small that I don't feel confident to attach it onto a motorcycle, expand the selfie stick and go on the bumpy roads. There is no guarantee that this screw will not just unscrew itself or fall out and break out from the selfie stick and my camera will be gone. Thus, I will have to figure out some other mounting option, how to attach the selfie stick to my motorcycle, because this thingy I cannot trust at all. The next thing is the microphone adapter. It feels to be made from a cheap plastic, and even though I need to apply some force to pull it out from the camera, I'm still concerned about it and feel like if I go on a really bumpy roads, it may fall out. It never happened to me and I went through some serious shaking. The microphone adapter stayed perfectly fine within the camera and didn't fall out, but this is just my concern. The microphone adapter itself also comes with two holes or two connectors on each side. One connector is for 3.5mm headphones or microphone, and the other one is the standard USB Type-C. So no matter what direction you are using your camera, with a standard or top to bottom direction, there will be a hole in the microphone adapter which will be wide open, and there will be a possibility to get some raindrops right into the microphone adapter. So you either have to avoid using the adapter while it's raining, or you have to constantly remove the adapter and put back in the hatch which is supposed to protect the camera from the moist. This hatch is very small and the risk of losing it rather high. That's why I avoid driving under rain, because I don't want to bother swapping the microphone adapter with the protective hatch, and I just drive with the microphone adapter even if I do not attach the microphone to the camera. One last thing I'm going to complain is the PC connectivity. If I use the standard Insta360 cable and connect it to my computer, then computer does not recognize the SD card, and for some reason it is not possible to read or write photos to or from the camera. If I connect the USB Type-C cable through the microphone adapter, then everything works as expected. I have no clue what's going on here. I have a semi-modern computer with MSI Z490 motherboard, and I also use official Insta360 USB Type-C cable, so it's supposed to work, but it doesn't. Maybe in the future I will figure out a solution for this problem, but right now I'm just using the microphone adapter to connect my camera to the PC. For the finish, I would like to say that Insta360 is not a cheap camera. If you're buying the twin edition with a 360 and 4K length, then you would have to pay somewhere between 550 and 600 euros, depending on your country and depending on your store. Now, for me, that costed more than 700 euros because I had to buy extra accessories: microphone adapter, microphone itself, motorcycle mounting, and the battery charge. 700 euros is a rather big chunk of cash, and I cannot afford spending this much on my toys each month or even each half of a year. That's why Insta360 will be the only action camera I have and use for quite a while. And I have to say that Insta360 One RS Twin Edition doesn't disappoint me, at least not yet. If you are like me, who wants an action camera that does it all, maybe not the best in one particular instance or one particular task, but it can do everything and do it at a decent level, then I can safely recommend you Insta360 One RS Twin Edition. If you have more money and can afford buying two separate cameras, I would suggest you to buy two separate cameras for 360 videos and standard 4K videos. With this, I have to say thanks for watching, thanks for listening, I hope it was interesting, and I hope I have helped someone make their decision. Bye for now, and see you in next videos.